Hello guys, or welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, then welcome. I hope you're all doing really well, and as you'll have seen from the title of this video, we are talking ADHD. I have had so many questions about this. It's been insane, to be honest. Okay, so in this, I'm going to cover absolutely everything. I've got my notes to try and make sure that I don't get sidetracked and I remember everything-ish. We're just going to get right into it because otherwise I feel like this video is going to be very long and I don't want it to be for obvious reasons. My emails don't go back that far to past like December, so I can't actually find when I originally sent my Right to Choose letter, but I know it wasn't that long. It was around December I got my confirmation message from the company that I chose to go with, and then I got all my assessment forms to fill out. So just to backtrack a little bit on that, in terms of going through the Right to Choose, so the NHS is swamped right now with ADHD diagnosis and assessments and stuff. So I think when I checked, it was like 7 years they wanted me to wait. So I had a look on the Right to Choose, and thankfully one of my friends was also going through the same process, so we kind of like did it together and I asked him for help and he helped me, etc. So what you do is you go on the Right to Choose website, and on the website there's loads of different companies that you can choose from to essentially go with for your ADHD assessment. From there, you'll click the company and then there should be like an email template that you just basically copy and paste and send to your doctors. And then what that does is then your doctors then refers you to that company. So in terms of picking the company, I just personally went with the same one that my friend with, just for ease, and it tells you how long like their wait times is, if they can give you prescription for medications, that kind of thing. So just go through and click whichever one that you want to go with, and then that company will then reach out to you. I think I got my assessment forms in January, but they came through as a Word document. So it meant that I had to save the forms and then amend forms, but I didn't have Word because I was doing it on my phone. And the way that it'd been downloaded, it was all... Anyway, it took me like a month to do it. Of course it did, because it was just too much. But you get 3 forms. So one form is for you to fill in and do it as honest as possible. The second form is for someone who knows you really well now. So I got my partner to fill out my form. And then the third form, depending on how they come through, is one for, I guess, your parents to fill out, someone who knew you as a child. Most of them are yes/no questions, and then if there's a yes, you basically have to expand on why it's yes. That's basically that. Maybe like a week later, I had a message to book my actual one-to-one assessment in, and I booked that then from the 16th of March. So what's that, like a week or two? I had to wait to then book my actual one-to-one assessment. And I didn't know that through that assessment they would diagnose you there and then. So that was kind of a lot to process. So in that assessment, they basically go over the same questions that are in the assessment forms, but just kind of ask you on a deeper level and ask you kind of like face to face so they can see what your reactions are, etc. Yeah, she just basically said that I tick all the boxes pretty much, and diagnosed me there and then with ADHD. I had to wait a little while for my medication to get like approved because I wasn't aware that I had to send off like another blood pressure report. So they keep on top of that. They also always want your blood pressure because apparently the medication can up your blood pressure, which is obviously not what they want. And they also want your weight as well, and again to keep an eye on your weight because the medication can suppress your appetite, so they don't want you to lose a lot of weight really quickly. So they'll keep an eye on that. So my first medication was the methylphenidate, I think I'm saying that right, and it was the 18 milligrams, I think. I was on that for 2 weeks and then there was a review. Those 2 weeks were intense. The first day I had a really good, it was really good. I put my actual reaction online on that. It was a lot. That was the first time that my racing thoughts had slowed down, and that was a lot to process. And it happened whilst I was with Kurt. So basically Kurt was doing something in the kitchen and I wanted to be there and be present with him and just take my time because it was my first day taking my tablets. Like I didn't want to do too much. I wanted to see how I was feeling, etc. And I just sat there, and I remember like I was like sat there and present, and like there wasn't loads of things going on. Like I could just be there and be with him, and it was very overwhelming. But he was really supportive as always. But that was like my first initial reaction to the medication, which was obviously a good reaction. But then after a couple of days, I started to feel really sick. And I think around the third or the fourth day, I got a really intense migraine and I couldn't move. I realised at this point that I wasn't drinking enough water with my tablets, so I upped my water intake and the headaches and the migraines eased off, but the sickness was still there and it was still really prominent. I remember, like, I would eat my breakfast, so you have to eat before you take your tablets, and then I take my tablets and then it'd be like 30 to 60 minutes afterwards, and it just hit you this overwhelming feel of like just feeling sick. It was just disgusting, and I think that's what then like suppresses your appetite, because it's just not a nice feeling. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy being on it. I stopped taking it on my birthday because I was like, I just want to feel normal for my birthday. I don't want to feel sick. I want to eat all the foods on my birthday, you know? I want to have a good day. So I stopped taking it, and then I think 3 or 4 days later then I had my review with the clinician. Now the clinician is different to the person that you have your assessment with, because obviously I think that's like a trained doctor, but the clinician is like a pharmacist, I think. So she was then saying all these things that I didn't really get told. So you need to have a high protein breakfast as your first meal for your ADHD meds. Like, that's quite a big thing. You need to be drinking, she said, 2 to 3 litres of water a day. It's very important that you do that. Let me get the other things that she said up, because I might have missed something. What else was it? I also can't remember where I put the notes, which doesn't help. I don't think I opened up like a separate notes for it. I think I added it on. Oh, here, is this it? Okay. Also, the tablets no later than 8 AM and try to have it at the same time each day. No coffee or energy drinks, and you need to eat every 3 hours. So because these tablets are steadily released throughout the day, you need to eat regularly. So that was like another thing, because the appetite suppression was in there. I wasn't eating regularly. So then she suggested that I go on Elvans, but I had to do these things. So I had to eat my high protein breakfast. I had to keep on top of my water. Like, these aren't just magic pills that are gonna help you feel better. Like, you also have to put in some effort from your side as well. And she was quite strict on that over the phone with me. I've been on Elvans now for 4 days, 5 days, and I feel great. I don't feel sick, which is like the biggest thing, to be honest. It's the biggest thing that I was worried about. I don't have my headaches unless I haven't taken enough water. Then I will still get my headaches, but I keep on top of it now. I'm good. I'm trying to be better. The biggest thing that I think for me is, obviously you guys know, I used to have coffee every single morning. I miss it. I miss coffee so much, but you can't have it. And I miss the buzz that I used to get from my coffee in the morning. So on the opposite side of that, because these are stimulants, I don't feel, it's crazy because I was expecting to be like buzzing like you would be after you've had a coffee. I'm so calm. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I'm just chill. I'm so chill. Like, it's so bizarre. Like, I've never been this calm before. And maybe because I've had coffee every day, that probably hasn't helped either. Sometimes my anxiety is heightened, and that's something else actually that was on the methylphenidate. I had such intense anxiety, like, if I have anxiety anyway, and then it would make it just 10 times worse, like the chest pains, and it was just too much. And I think it's the same on this medication, because I had some yesterday, where if you're in a situation that makes you feel a little bit anxious, it probably just heightens it a little bit. So it makes you aware and makes you want to kind of like take control of your surroundings a little bit more. So today I'm at home alone. There's no real issues with anything. Like, I'm not seeing anyone, so there's no drama, there's nothing going on. So I'm chill. I've had a great morning. I've been quite productive. It's been great. Obviously, this is just my journey so far, and I haven't been on the Elvans very long, but so far I'm enjoying it, I think. I hope that it's going to help me focus a little bit more and be a little bit tidier. Like, I'm so messy. There's so much makeup in front of you right now that I'm hoping that with the calmness, I can maybe tackle bigger tasks to me. For anybody else, it's just like tidy your shit up, Hannah. But for me, it's so overwhelming that I just won't do it, and then it just gets put off and put off and put off, and then it gets worse and worse. And then you have to spend a whole day cleaning one room because you've put it off. And that's also the same with our clothes at the moment. Like, I'm doing the washing and the clothes are just piling up and they are not getting put away. They are not getting put away. So I'm actually going to see if I can get a cleaner and just help with maybe just like the bigger rooms in the house. So like the kitchen and the bathroom that need to be kept on top of, and also as an add-on, I've already asked her and she said yeah, to help us put our clothes away. And she said yeah, we can add that on, that's something that they can do, they can help with us do that, so it'll just make maybe then other tasks a little bit easier to do, which I'm looking forward to. Because also you'll know if you have ADHD that if the place is messy, you can't think properly and you can't focus because the place is a mess, but you also can't clean it up because it's too much and it's too overwhelming. It's a whole big cycle, it's a whole big thing, but you'll get it, you'll understand. So yeah, currently, unedited, this has been 13 minutes. I think that's pretty good going. It should be less than that. It should be like a 7 or 8 minute video, which I feel like should be okay, especially for ADHD brains. I've got through this a lot quicker than I thought I would, and I think it's because I've got my notes with me, so I didn't ramble too much, but I'm rambling now. But yeah, I wanted to do this now, today, because I posted a post on TikTok and it's kind of gone crazy, and I wasn't expecting it to. I wasn't expecting a lot of people to feel the same way that I do around birthdays, and I'm learning about rejection sensitivity, and it's like a whole big thing, and there's so many other people that feel exactly the same way and I just didn't realise. So if you see me on TikTok, hi, welcome. If you're new here, then make sure you subscribe. And yeah, we're going to go through this ADHD journey together. We're going to go through questions and comments and queries and anything else. If there's anything that I've missed, if there's anything you want to know, if there's anything that you want me to do a dedicated video on, please let me know in the comments. I just want to help. I feel like that's my purpose. Like, I just want to help and make people feel less alone through this, because I didn't realise that a lot of the things that I feel and that I'm going through, so many other people are too, and they're so happy that I've shared that experience too, because it helps them feel less alone. And yeah, that's it. But I am still going to be sharing my beauty content because it's really important to me, and it's really important that I share the whole cruelty-free aspect of it, because you don't need to be using brands that test on animals. You know that. There's brands just as good, if not better, than those brands that are tested on animals. This makeup is a full face of cruelty-free makeup, so if I can do it, so can you. And yeah, I just hope this helps. And if you've got any other questions, I feel like I have raced through it really quickly, and I'm sorry, but I was just cautious of time, and I didn't want this to be dragged out, because I know people with ADHD just won't watch it because it's too long. So if I've skipped over anything, I'm really sorry, but please just let me know in the comments. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope this has been helpful, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.